Alright, so there's my triplex. Done a lot of work to it. I changed this wheel set. I used the same rods, but I changed the wheel set. The axles were different. They fit into the actual frame differently. And it's got some of the valve gear on it. I added these pieces here on this side, so they're at an angle, because they're not supposed to be straight. I do have to round this off in the top. I changed the front nose. That's a different nose piece. As you can see in the bottom, you see the white spots. It was originally cut. They were notched out for the train that it came out of. So I put some baking soda and crazy glue in there. I made this section. It swivels with the truck. This here is a little bit wider than it should be. It should be just about as wide as these, but my measurements were a little bit off. This should have been a little bit further back, but I was worried about it hitting, so I spaced it out further. I still need to fill this and smooth that out on the top. But I added a pipe in the back. Got the back half here, the ladders, whatever they are. For some reason they're a little crooked. I must have screwed up. I'll fix that later. It's got a, what do you call it? That's a horn hook coupler. I'm going to leave that on there, saying that it's supposed to be an old train. I have a conversion car anyway that goes from horn hook to KD. A couple of them. So I'm not worried about that. I bonded the plug at the top. That feeds, there's extra wires in there because they're going to be taillights on there. So this wire that comes out of the plug is kind of rigid, but 3/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch from the plug is cut, and I soldered really, really thin wire, which I got from Amazon, which was this stuff. It's 30 gauge. It's you can strip it with your fingernails. It's very, very, very flexible. I mean, you can have 8 wires running from a tender to a train and it will not bind. But that's the stuff right there, if you're interested. I know a lot of people run a heavier wire and then they have to put a ton of weight in the tender so the thing don't flop over. But if you use that, you won't have any issues. I added some detail here. I cut this back, it's too long. Added the bottom of these. I don't even know what they are. I don't know much about the mechanics of a train, to be honest with you. I'm an auto mechanic at heart, so, excuse me. There's a lot of lead in this now. There's some lead in this. So, unfortunately, the front wheels have to be on the track. I mean, I have to put the train on the track and push it along until the wheels itself are cleaned up, but the axles aren't, the channels. So the contacts on them aren't that great. It's a lot better than what it was before. It might move right there, see? As soon as you touch it, it'll pick up power again. But once I get it on the track moving, it'll work itself out. It does work though. I had it running the other night with the other set of wheel sets, but it wouldn't run at a slow speed unless I held my hand on the top of it. So I may have to do something else. If I don't get enough traction to that, I will make this rear. I'll switch the rear to power, the fireman side, and then this truck here will be the engineer side, if this doesn't work out, and then there won't be any connection at all on this. So we'll see what happens. I added the bottom part of the firebox. It doesn't look like much because it's all different colors, but once it's sanded down and drummeled down and cleaned up, it'll look good. I just haven't figured out if this thing is going to be basically all black or if I'm going to do that light blue color or not. I still have to straighten this out, and then I have to remake these lines on the shell itself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut pieces of masking tape in between here, and then I'm going to sprinkle. I'm going to make it, I'm going to put crazy glue on it, and then I'm going to drop baking soda on it, and then run my thumb over it, and then I'm going to peel the tape off, and it's going to leave that lip. I'm not going to do it with vinyl this time because some of them are already there. So anyway, I'm not going to bother changing these. These are incorrect. I'm going to leave them alone. There were a few later model triplexes that didn't have the big pieces sticking out of the top that look like, I don't know. Use your imagination if you know what one of these looks like. I don't really like the way they look, so I'll leave it the way it is. I am going to add a bell and all that other stuff to the top, and I will add the lines for these compressors. I'll add the lines and all that, but that's what we're looking at right now. I'm going to get rid of that 102. There's a traction tire on this, so it will continue to roll with the with the train. I may have to put a pressure pin or a spring. See how that's not pushing down on the tire car enough? I may have to add a piece of bent Lexan as a spring to hold that down. That's still up in the air on that one. We'll see. I think I will. But anyway, that's the update. So that's what we're looking at so far. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.